Well, when I came up with this talk about uh, releasing the rest, of course it has to do with forgiveness and letting go. I didn't know back then that the daily word was going to be about releasing and letting go and being here now. So, between the music and the lyrics and Sally's talk, I think we'll just take the offering now and go and enjoy our day. Right? I think it's been a wonderful service. So that the daily word talked about releasing and letting go and being here now. Let's just take a moment to actually let ourselves be here now. In case there's any thoughts, in case the monkey mind is thinking about something that happened yesterday or something that's going to happen later today. Let's just take a breath, take a moment, and allow ourselves to be here now. Last week I forgot to introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mark Berry. I am an ordained all-faith minister. I have been involved in Unity, seems like forever, since '84. And my first Unity minister was Billy Blaine. Some of you remember or heard about her, Unity minister here in Auburn. And I've been a member of this church ever since, and I love it. I love everything about the Fillmore's teachings and the philosophy. I love that this is based on Christianity, based on the Holy Bible. That's what I was raised. I was raised Lutheran, not only at church on Sunday, but also parochial school. So I was immersed in it. My mother's grandfather was a Lutheran minister. And so I was very well steeped in that, not just church on Sunday, but chapel on Wednesday and school all week long. And so I appreciate the reference to Christianity, the Unity School. We used to call it the Unity School of Christianity. And we are a metaphysical church or a New Thought church. Metaphysical simply means beyond the physical. And I love that because I know that's the way the teachings are meant to help us. I have dear friends who say that I go to a church where we take the Bible literally. And I say to myself and to them, I'm so sorry to hear that. Because Jesus taught in parables. And when the Bible says, don't hide your light under the bushel, but let your light come out and shine, I don't think it's talking just about wick and wax. I think it's talking about this little light of mine. I think there's more than of course there's more than just the literal. And one of the things I love about spirituality that I know that Unity embraces quite clearly is that it's such a good thing for each of us to have our own relationship with our higher power, our God, our Christ, our infinite. And I know it's true. I know that if we were this morning, if we were a Baptist church or a Catholic church or whatever church, I know if we pass the microphone down the line and say, tell me about God and tell me about your relationship with God, I know we're going to get a little bit different take on it from each and every one of us. And that's not to be confusing. That's not to be disconcerting. Each of us must have our own personal relationship with the God of our understanding, with our higher power. That's the only way it works. Well, it's the way it works best. That much is for sure. So today's talk about release the rest. I'm going to start with a quote from Charles Fillmore. Charles Fillmore said, "Here is a mental treatment guaranteed to cure every ill that flesh is heir to. Sit for half an hour every night and mentally forgive everyone against whom you have any ill or antipathy." old language, 100-year-old language. Any will, ill will, or antipathy. So that's another way, a very fancy way of saying the principle that I think is so helpful to me is to just simply forgive everyone, everything, all the time. Wouldn't it be nice if that were easy to do and effortless to do, and I could just forgive everyone, everything, all the time, and be happy? I think the reason we are here is to be happy. And I don't mean that in a hedonistic way or a small way. I think in order for a human being to be happy, they have to like what they see in the mirror. They have to like who they are. They have to like what they stand for. They have to like the person that they are walking through this life and interacting with family members and interacting with neighbors and colleagues and friends and spiritual family. I think the purpose of life is to enjoy life. But I can't really enjoy life unless I behave myself spiritually, unless I live according to some guidelines, some ethics, some morals. The 10 Commandments is a good one. The 12 steps have helped me personally, as I'm also a person of recovery. And so the better I do at walking my intended path, the more happy I am and the more I enjoy life. And here's another way that Charles Fillmore said something that I just said in my way. He said, we must learn to let go, to give up, to make room for the things we have prayed for and desired. Let go and give up to make room for the things that we have prayed for. You've probably heard the analogy of, if your cup is too full, then where's the room to bring in the love that's ours to bring in today? So we must learn to let go, to give up, to make room for the things we have prayed for and desired. We need to let go of our anger, resentment, fear, so that we can make room for the love and the joy that wants to come in today. I was here last week, and unfortunately, our beloved Reverend Cherie, hi Cherie, unfortunately our beloved Reverend Cherie is not with us again today. She's had some illness and she's had some relapse, and I send her all my love and all my healing energy and blessings, and we love you, Reverend Cherie. We miss you, Reverend Cherie, and so I'm really sorry that she's not here. But since she's not here, I'm really glad that I get to be here and share this time with you and with Sally and Sharon, and release the rest. Go with me for a moment on a little imaginary journey. Imagine that somewhere out there in the universe, there is a point of light. And this point of light is a soul, is a beingness. And this point of light is about to take an incarnation. This point of light is about to come through human parents. And this point of light is about to come in and be born on this planet around this time. And this point of light, when it comes through and gets into the body, which I call the earth suit, when it comes in and takes an earth suit and is born, this point of light is going to have your name. This is you on your way to being here now. There's another point of light out there in the universe, and your best friends. This other point of light loves you so much. You love each other unconditionally, infinitely, like we can't even imagine here in our limited brain human form. And when this other point of light finds out that you're about to come in here and you're about to take an incarnation on earth, the first thing they say is, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to go down there? You know, they still kill each other, those human beings down there. You know, groups of them get together and try and kill other groups, and they call it war, and they try and justify that. You know that they're polluting the very water they have to drink. They're polluting the very air they have to breathe, the soil that grows the very food. Why on earth would you want to go down there at this time? The only answer that I've ever been able to come up with is to learn about forgiveness, to finally get this principle, hopefully once and for all. And that other point of light says to you, I love you so much, that I'm going to make the ultimate sacrifice. I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to get born about that same time. And I'm going to take a human incarnation myself. And because you're going down there to learn about forgiveness once and for all, I'm going to push your button so hard. I'm going to do something that you're going to think is unforgivable to help you, because I love you so much, to help you on your journey, to help you accomplish your goal for yourself, for your entire being at this time. So when we talk about releasing and letting go, and I've been talking about this for quite a while because I'm working on it forever. I even developed a little workshop which I call Forgiveness, the Key to Happiness. And it's fun. It's working on our stuff. You know, it's not just fun and games. It's actually thinking about stuff and working on stuff, which is what I think I'm here to do, so that I can enjoy life even more and be even happier. You wouldn't believe the number of times, so many times, I've heard from people, well, I've done my forgiveness work. For years I've known about this. I've been forgiving everybody, everything, all the time, except for that one thing that is unforgivable, that one person that is unforgivable. Just this week, I was talking to a friend, invited them here, and they said, what's your topic? And I told them, release the rest, about actually letting go of that last thing. And she said, well, I can't think of anybody or anything I need to forgive. And I said, wow, really? That's amazing. And then she said, except myself. There's always that thing, except that one thing that's unforgivable, or in a lot of our cases, except myself. It turns out that as we humans do our forgiveness work, the first thing that comes to mind is when I've been betrayed, or when I've been robbed, or when I've been done wrong, in my perception of things. The first thing we do is forgive others and groups of others and circumstances, which is good. Good thing. And it turns out that after we've done that for a while, after we've done a certain amount of that forgiveness work, forgiving those and forgiving those circumstances and those individuals out there, we come to a point in our evolution where we realize, oh, now it's time to forgive myself. Really? Yeah. It's time for me to forgive myself for trusting that person who betrayed me, for trusting that situation where I felt robbed, I felt taken advantage of, I felt violated. It's time for me to forgive myself for my part. If there's anything I feel revenge thoughts, anything I feel resentment about, any of those kind of things that are so unpleasant. It turns out that in the forgiveness journey, what I really get to do when it gets down to it is I really get to forgive myself for my participation in that, for my mistakes that I made in that, for my error in thinking and trusting somebody one of the big mistakes that I've made, I don't know if this is going to sound familiar to any of you, but one of the big mistakes I've made is I have expected other people to be different than they are. Have you ever done that? I know that this person is not the person of the highest integrity. They've demonstrated that to me. Sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they don't behave like they say they're going to behave. Sometimes they don't behave like the person they present themselves to be. And I know that. And I trust them anyway. Or I open a part of my life or a part of my heart to them anyway. So what did I just do? I just set myself up for disappointment, right? Because people are going to be who they are. We're all going to be who we are. We are who we are. And if I expect this giraffe to behave like a zebra, I am setting myself up for huge disappointment. So in that way, I get to forgive myself. I need to forgive myself. So if there's something or someone that still needs your forgiveness, that still deserves your forgiveness, you need to come to peace with that right here, right now, in order for you to be happy, in order for you to enjoy this day, this life, this moment, even more than ever before. What if they don't? One of the things that pops up in our human brains is, well, what if they don't deserve my forgiveness? What if they haven't asked for my forgiveness? You don't do it for them. I don't forgive them for them. I forgive them for me, so that I can go along without those burdens, without those balls and chains dragging me along. It's necessary to have boundaries. We hear about people having to, I gotta have my boundaries, gotta have my safe boundaries, which is true, and it's necessary. Why is it necessary? It's necessary because we've been hurt. If we have never been hurt, we would never think of boundaries. It's necessary for us to protect ourselves against future pain, to have these proper set boundaries. It's necessary because we are loving, compassionate people. And it's the loving, compassionate people who get hurt, who feel the pain of betrayal and insincerity. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to need to set boundaries. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to be loving and compassionate. It's a good thing. And sometimes it hurts. I made up my mind back in the college age, I think it was. My parents were very closed off. My parents were it's the way they were raised. It's the time they were raised in the 40s. They were young adults during World War II when they got together. And they were stationed in the Deep South, where there was incredible bigotry, incredible segregation. Ugh. Just the stories I've heard, I don't want to hear them again. They're not pleasant. So my parents were suspicious of everybody. What are they after? What are they trying to get from me? They were skeptical of everything. How is that going to go wrong? How am I going to regret moving in that direction? Everything was scary. Everything was to be suspicious of. That's the way, and I'm an only child. I didn't even have any siblings to debate stuff with. So that's the way I was raised by my parents. So I grew up that way. So I went through college that way. I was suspicious of everybody. I was skeptical of everything. And then I found this philosophy of New Thought Christianity. And it got me to thinking, which that's what it does. I love to say that I come to Unity to get my answers questioned. It helps me to think about what I need to think about in order for me to be happy and enjoy life. I got to thinking about spending the rest of my life like my parents did, suspicious of everybody and skeptical about everything. I thought, that doesn't sound any fun at all. And I decided that I want to be touchy-feely. I want to be a tree hugger. I want to be open. I want to be loving. I want to be compassionate. I want to connect with people. Like Jerry and Carrie, like Dan and Jan. I just want to, that's who I want to be. I want love in my life. I want joy in my life. I don't want to be closed off and barricaded up like my parents were. So I made the conscious decision, I made the conscious choice to be open and loving, to be vulnerable, if that's a word that we need to use there. Okay, that's who I want to be. Just like all of you. Since I made that decision that that's who I want to be, I'm still going to get hurt. I'm still going to get disappointed. I'm going to feel let down. I'm going to have a resentment. That's going to happen. But it doesn't affect me like it affected my parents at all. Because I made that conscious decision, just like you have. I've made that conscious choice to be who I am, loving people, hugging trees. Now, when something comes up and somebody's trying to rip me off or be offensive or push my buttons or whatever, it doesn't hurt near as much. It doesn't get under my skin and crawl around in there for months or days or weeks like it once did. Now, it's easy to take it in stride because, okay, that's them being them. And I chose to be open, and it's okay. What an incredible difference that has made in my life. I don't have to hang on to those resentments. I don't have to hang on to that anger. I don't have to hang on to those revenge thoughts anymore, which plagued me as a young person. I did a lot of that. I hope you didn't, but I did. And now, I can just say to myself, that's them being them. They're the kind of person that would like to take advantage of me. They're the kind of person that would like to rip me off. They're the kind of person that wants to behave like words I can't use in church. And that's just them being them. With this new awareness, instead of wanting to give them what for and how dare you, I'll teach you, instead of that, which was my parents and me growing up, now I feel so sorry for you. I'm so sorry that you're that unhappy, that you think it's right to misbehave. You think it's right to insult other people. You think it's right to be rude to other people. You think it's right to steal from other people. I feel so sorry for you. I pray for your happiness. I pray for your well-being. I pray for that person now that I used to resent. I hope you come to a place real soon where you love what you see in the mirror. Genuinely. Honestly. My expectations set me up for pain. I went through recovery. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I was in a program in a hospital, and one of the things they told us is that it's your expectations that set you up for disappointment. And once you experience disappointment, that's going to lead down the emotional scale. Disappointment is going to lead to, I can't remember the exact sequence now, but I remember that Apathy was at the bottom. Disappointment's going to lead you to anger, revenge, vengeance, all kinds of things, down to apathy, where I just really don't care if I live another day, at the bottom of the emotional ladder. And so I had this realization of, it all starts with expectations. All I have to do is not ever have any expectations, and I'll never go down that emotional ladder. Wow, I just discovered the key to life. This is so cool. Well, it's not so easy to do. There's these simple principles, like the 4 agreements. The simple principles are not always easy, are they? Doing this personal growth stuff, ripping myself open and going in and discovering these things and working on these things so that I could be more happy and enjoy life better, not always easy. I discovered I can't live without expectations. Doggone it. It seemed like the key to everything, but then there's always some expectations. Like, I expected some of you to be here this morning. I expected the doors to be open. I expected my car, when I got up and went out of the house, I expected my car to be there. You expect somebody to meet you when you say a certain time in a certain place. We all have expectations. They're just a part of being human. They're just a part of living life. So, okay, I can't live without expectations. I'm always going to have those things. Now what do I do? Oh, I know. Now what do I do is, what I can do is when I have an expectation that is unmet. Oh, that didn't work out the way I expected it to. When I have an expectation that is unmet, that's where I can make the difference. How do I respond? How do I react to an expectation that is unmet in the manner of which I expected it? That's the key for me today, is to start right there and forgive myself for having that expectation or to being too locked into it, and forgive whatever circumstances caused that expectation to be disappointed. I wish I had another couple of hours, but that's our time for this morning, and so I just want to wish you good luck forgiving everyone, everything, all the time. And thank you for being here this morning. And let's just go within for a minute. Let's just take this in. Let's enjoy a complete breath and a complete exhalation as we let go. As we let go of all the expectations of ourselves. As we let go of all the expectations of the universe and the world, and especially the people in it. As we let go and let God. We let the presence of the living God join us. We allow ourselves to be immersed in the peace and the joy of the presence of the living God, of the living Christ, our best friend, our way shower, the one who carries us when we cannot carry ourselves. I release and I let go. And I continue with the next breath, and with the next hour, and with the next day. I continue to release and let go, so that I can be that light that I was meant to be, that light that is my essence. Jesus said to his followers, "You are the light of the world." Aren't we all followers of the one who lived over 2 millennia ago? Yes, we are. You are the light of the world. When you say your affirmations during the day, I am the light of the world. Let your light shine. Allow the light of your love and allow the light of your compassion to shine brilliantly, to bless this precious world of ours that needs our light so much right now. Let your light shine with no concern of disappointment, because we know how to handle that now. It's okay to give. It's okay to love. It's okay to be the love and the light that you are, that we are, that I am. Thank you, God, for everything. So it is. Amen.